Whoa, this S.T.A.L.K.E.R game is pretty nice. I wonder what year was this published in? That seems like a lot of time. Let me check my phone. What the hell? S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 is out? Man, that's pretty cool. That cannot be right. I need to slip into something more comfortable. Oh, that seems something more comfortable. Let's see what this is about. But then I need this thing off my... Oh, that's horrible. What is this thing about? Good morning, good evening gamers, is the phrase I often start my videos with. But have you ever thought of yourself why this phrase is even about? We know that players play plays, so gamers must game games. People experience video games for the sole purpose of escapism, where they embark on epic journeys through digital fantasy or cyberpunk lands. But I wanted to be different. I wanted to play games not to escape, but to experience the same real life in a poetic and skillfully crafted world. That's when I turned to the S.T.A.L.K.E.R games. Now many do not know, but I am Romanian. While that may seem already a harsh sentence at life, I was also born in Mureș. For those who don't know, Mureș is a place in the heart of Transylvania, but instead of Dracula and castles we have Shuglu puffers and Hungarians. When you put two and two together, you may happen to already picture the picture. It is very similar to the stuff we find in the S.T.A.L.K.E.R games. While the alcohol consumption in the zone and Mureș have already spoiled the pure similarities between them, the giant nuclear reactors surely will do, which both exploded on a sunny day, by the way. Having to experience this wonderful phenomenon in person, I was filled with an even more carnivorous desire to play the S.T.A.L.K.E.R games. Which I did. Now, being a Romanian S.T.A.L.K.E.R fan came at a cost. I was bullied daily and called the so-called Slava Boo, which is clearly not true. After countless days of waiting for this game since 2018, I managed to acquire a copy on the release day by Romanian Black Magic. From the very beginning, it's important to emphasize how this game feels like a true S.T.A.L.K.E.R experience, bearing a striking resemblance to Shadow of Chernobyl in its introduction to game mechanics and progression. Everything feels particularly familiar for veteran players of the original, though I cannot speak for the new fans since I don't know any. With such a fantastic introduction, the first thing I wanted to do was check my PDA, which has received an impressive overhaul. Naturally, I started with the map to see how the zones are connected, and the map is massive. One of my first objectives was to locate Cordon and the Rookie Village, a favorite area from Shadow of Chernobyl. Sure enough, it was there presented in all its glory. But just as I was basking in this nostalgic discovery, something jolted me in a state of shock. Where are the swamps and Zaton? If you've played Clear Sky, you know that the swamps are located to the west and lead directly into Cordon. But here, the layout was completely different. As I explored further, I began noticing multiple map retcons. Being the autistic monkey individual I am, this realization sent me into a spiral of frustration. It didn't help me that another major feature was missing from the PDA. The ranks and faction relations were gone. How could this be? Then I was reminded, my friends, the zone has changed. As I remember a loading screen tip. Almost all factions are now at a truce and the monolith has disbanded. Is this the result of a new sinister faction at play? It turns out to be just that. But enough about these minor grievances, which could likely be addressed with a patch or two. It's time to focus on the real deal with this game. The movement and shooting mechanics feel just as they do in the rest of the series, which I thoroughly enjoy. If you recall Shadow of Chernobyl, you could perform crazy ass parkour to access secret stashes or maybe just go out of bounds, and I'm happy to see that in S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 the feature remains. And I was genuinely impressed, especially considering this game runs on the dogshit Unreal 5. Another beautiful mechanic is that weapons can jam just like in Far Cry 2, and they kinda do it very often if you pick them up from random people. And if you believe me, you know I like it rough. so I played the game almost entirely with broken weapons just so I can see these animations and spice up my gameplay. Speaking of animations, can I point out how fucking grateful I am that the animators actually didn't go down the Call of Duty style and create horrendous jittery movement like my boy Skiff got Parkinson. I cannot empathize enough how much of a faggotry the tactical style of animations and weapons are in general. Thank you GSC Games World. Another delightful constant is the staple of the average Eastern European diet: sausage, strong spirits and bread. To fully immerse myself, all I had to do was head to my kitchen and recreate the experience. You know, this is actually a very nice bottle. Where the fuck do I even have this? With this context in mind, let's turn our attention to the story. My first confession, however, is that I haven't finished it. That's not for the lack of interest, but rather a statement to how ambitious S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 truly is. GSC Games World has undertaken the Herculean task of delivering a game of this scale, and they've done so despite the challenges of a fucking war next door that just underscores just how impressive this achievement is. According to my friend Sab, completing the story takes at least 40 hours. My own playtime currently sits just under 20 hours. That in itself is a remarkable feat, considering that half the time I've been doing side quests, man. So Adria, you may ask, what can you tell us about this game if you haven't completed it? What can I say, my friends, is that I love it. From the aesthetics to sound design, everything is just perfect. But what about the bugs? Anomalies. My friends, the only people who tell you this game has bugs clearly have lead poisoning. I'm running this game with no patches and I haven't encountered anything. If you got something to say about that, go buy the game and support the devs, because I didn't. Anyway, let's stay clear out of this bullshit commentary I've been creating using ChatGPT and let's hear some real opinions.
Hello guys, it's me, the funny screaming Rainbow Six guy, to tell you about how 5 years ago, Adria let me play S.T.A.L.K.E.R on his shitty laptop. And I have no gas mask. That's pretty much my only input in this video. Peace.
Thank you Vlad. Now this is a real S.T.A.L.K.E.R review. I literally don't know what anything else to say about this. I love it and I cannot wait to stack more money so I can play like a normal person instead of using Mureș curse technology with the soul of a crypto miner in it. But we'll see.